Hi, this is B from Sorcery Soap. I wanted to say hi to all the soap witches and to welcome the newest members of the Soap Witch Guild. Today, I want to show you some processes, or at least how I stamp soaps. I made soap 2 days ago and I cut it yesterday. So it's only been 24 hours since I cut the soaps, and this is what they look like. So these are some samples. I always cut a few slices off of my soap bars so that I can share the scent that I made with these. And this one is dark amber rosewood. And I also wanted to see, this is a silver blue. I wanted to see how it turned, and if it did turn. Has very little vanillin. And I noticed that some people call it vanillin. So I don't want to confuse anybody. I'm confused by it. I've been calling it vanillin, so I don't know. Anyway, it's lovely. It is just so lovely. So this is a little snowflake gnome, and I want to show you how I do that, how I stamp those, and give you an idea of the process of stamping. I want everybody that, finds our stamps and use our stamps on soaps to have great success. So if you have any questions, some people have been leaving comments and questions, good questions, and I'm happy to answer those. And if you have any questions about the process, just holler at me. Or if I see your email or see your message, I definitely will respond to you. I do the best I can to respond as quickly as possible. So the stamps will be coming hopefully this week, so we'll have a huge amount of restock for all the stamps, and at least for the majority of the stamps that you've signed up for Notify Me. So the Notify Me process is you put your email in, and you get the very second that I update the inventory, you'll get an email automated to you about the product that you want, that you've signed up for. So no matter if I make the announcement or you've missed the newsletter or whatever, you're still going to be notified immediately. And I try to do it within a very small window, so the whole batch, all the batches are updated. So you get your soap dough and you get your stamps together, and then you can order them in the same package at the same time. So those should be coming out the end of this week, which is we update the inventory Thursday night, and Friday for sure they're up. And if you have the Notify Me, then you know that you get a little advance warning. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that everything arrives this week, and that we can give you access to an abundance of soap stamps, and especially the ones for holiday, because then you'll have plenty of time to make those for Christmas and for Halloween. And the other thing I wanted to point out is that there's this sort of level of freedom that I've discovered that I haven't had in the past, which is to be able to cut my soaps. So I cure my cold process soaps for 8 weeks minimum. I do that for a lot of reasons, mostly because I want to make sure that they're completely cured. And I figure, and I know they'll still evaporate over a course of a year. Of course, I'm not going to keep them for a year, but 8 weeks gives me a lot longer time. I've seen soaps, I've touched soaps in the past that I could tell weren't cured fully. They're a little bit tacky and sticky, and somehow to me that's like not the mastery level that I'm looking for when I purchase handmade soaps. And so I wanted to, I have a philosophy: if everybody's late for an appointment and all I have to do is be on time or a bit early, then I win, like from that perspective, because I want to find the simplest ways to cultivate my craft so that my work looks exceptional, not just okay or average, but exceptional. Anyway, so I leave my cold process bars to cure for 8 weeks. And within that 8 weeks, that's 2 full months, I have plenty of time to enjoy the fragrance of them, to look at the color, to let it sort of speak to me and figure out what I want to do with it. And I've made some in the past the last few months, and I made I used Sherlock's study from Midwest Fragrance Oil Company, and in one of my videos I called it Midwestern, which is, I don't even know why I did that, but it's Midwest Fragrance Oil Company. Awesome people, great company, good fragrance oils, and really good fragrance. I didn't mean to minimize that, but really good fragrance oils. Behaves so well in cold processed soap, keeps their scent. So I used a Sherlock Study fragrance oil in a soap, and I knew I wanted to make a bookshelf for them. So I put books on them, and then we had to move. And that's a whole, process in and of itself. So I left them to cure. I'd stamped them a couple days after I cut them with Santa stamp, Santa footprint stamp. And I also call those clue because I think it sort of lends to the clue idea or mystery or whatever. Anyway, so I put the Santa stamp on it, and I filled it in, and I left them. And I was looking at them one day, and I thought, oh, wouldn't that be cute to have a little Sherlock climbing on the bar? And I had plenty of time. They were fully cured bars, so I applied those, and they just changed the whole nature of the soap bar. And then I had put these onlay pieces of the Magic Book stamp on the one side, so that there's a stamp of soaps. There's an onlay of soap on one side of it that has Magic Book filled in with soap dough. I'll put a picture up. And on the other side, it has the footprints. And so the whole theme just sort of came together. And anyway, I wanted to share that because sometimes in my mind and in the past, what I've done is tried to create the whole soap in my mind before I even make embeds or make embellishments or anything. And that's okay. I mean, obviously lots of people do that. But this other idea I have now is to just cut my bars and get the fragrance oil in the scent or in the bar and the color of the basic bar, and then let that sit and think about it and see what that looks like to me. So anyway, I have great plans for the red ones. I have some silver blue ones like these, which make me really happy, and I want to share all these scents with you. So I've made samples of those. I have some Christmas green ones, it was really pretty jade green, and then gold bars. So over the course of time, I'll show you some of those. But today I just want to show you how I stamp these samples for you. So anyway, thank you for being here, and thanks for watching. And particularly to the Soap Witches, thanks for being loyal. And I really appreciate your loyalty. And so anyway, that's part of why you've been inducted into the Soap Witch Guild. So, okay, let's get started.